It's folded as and takes folded to a fight. Yeah, it's just kind of weird. Hell. Hmm. I don't know. Kind of a. I like when he fights his master. I like when he fights. Yeah, and this fights his like clearly his rival before all of this shit went to hell. Yes, very much so. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Like I agree. Like I don't mean figuratively. Yeah, he that's past the family drama. That's where it kind of dries up. I like the Akuma fight is cheap. What the sheep? Well, I mean, he has to be main character. Oh, she was a main character. That's kind of like how Warhammer 40K made uh a female custodian, but yet there are already female custodian equivalents called Sisters of Silence that can only be women. And then they have like they're like, oh, we need female space marines, though they haven't done that yet. But the thing with that is like they've proven time and time again we don't need female space marines. They just need to focus on battle if they want to tell a powering. Yeah, it yep, he fully just pressed him a because subtlety, good writers, and have none of that shit. Church. fucking strong and weak the moment, weak the next. Yeah, just wrong fundamentally. Yeah, 9/11's kind of a. It's what? But you don't 9/11? What do you mean you don't 9 your 11? Like I still hold the opinion the original Devil May Cry anime was better. Nine a web. We don't have the references to 9/11 resonate with our story. America can clearly only relate to 9/11. We don't have a vast culture. Actually, yeah, that's insulting. Insulting it was to him. Shit, you really think you can tell a story that kids will resonate with? But if it's about 9/11, which figures, nah, I mean, look at the guy who made it. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. It's kind of a card carrying. Wasn't being subtle. A wolf? What are your trader odds? Fucking. I was very little and I was able to understand like death and everything. Didn't really care. Why? Because a bunch of people that I didn't know died. Don't say that. The consolation prize. Problem. Ow. Ah. I have slain the board. Stepping. Basically. I believe. Wolves. Yeah, that's probably. I have my allies winning. It's fantastic considering the bug occurred that bad, or I can't gather more stone. Okay. Got primarily well armored spearmen. 7. My teammate is called GG and he's in the enemy's base. Safe to say we won. Held off the siege of Okay, here it comes. It was stand the elephant siege. max level spearman taking out elephants. Let's hear it for the max level spearman. Sorry, I've had previous issues with elephants in the past, like beating them in this game, and it elephants getting stabbed by spears and it working. Let's go. That's a properly built siege this time to deal with my opponent's castles, and he lost because he a bitch. I can't say I spent my resources. Fucking. I did make some good decisions. Bringing up the trebuchets. What does it take to counter elephants? Well, don't let your opponent have the same number of elephants as you as spearmen, because spearmen are much cheaper. And then, fuck them. Oh, they did kill my mangonel, but that's okay. I, dude, I totally want to say that I like didn't pull my weight there. Every part of my body, so I want to say like, hey, I didn't do shit there. My opponent won there. I mean, like my allies won, the one that won. But when it came down to brass tacks, my enemy had besieged me full hot head on from a castle wall. Like he built a castle wall in front of me, headed out, secured resources, tried to push into me, and he lost hard. Like, yeah, I didn't kill my opponent like my ally did, but I killed my when it came to my army versus my opponent's army, my side's opponent. I beat him entirely. Like I lost all of my shit and then just started pumping out spearmen and fucking crossbowmen to deal with the fucking elephants. To be fair, I only lost like 10 or 12 Kazakhs, which I have. I was building like art. I was building crossbows, but wasn't building. Which luckily only a few 24 crossbow died. This is a lot more macro intensive kind of RTF. Only 24 crossbowmen died to like initial assault, and yeah, just I had a bunch. He came out of that wall like, oh, it's time to die now, and I'm like, oh yeah, I have max level. I have elite spearmen ready to go. But please do step into my pikes, please, please, please. I love all my interactions with players. It says block chat, block, and report. No like commend. 2 silvers beat 2 golds. Hell yeah. I Vilk. I think the other two had 2 TC. I was more depending on trade. which I mean that's okay. If I get decent trade income early on, being behind on bill, I think you can trade gold, especially with mine, where you get like mine, you get gold, food, and stone from it at past a certain. So it just supplements my entire economy. They had a like my opponent had a massive amount. Ate shit. Well, because I built the hard countered elephants. Like, oh yeah, elephants, archers, and I'm like, what if I just built my own crossbowmen, heavy archer, and spearmen? Which he didn't seem to have many facilities. Like he didn't have many barracks. I had like 7 or 8 barracks. I had 7 or 8 archer ranges, and I had 5 stables. So I could remax my army a lot. Weird. I don't know why people do this. That's weird though. He was ahead of me, like to a certain extent, but he instead of like pushing the advantage and killing me, built a fucking castle wall in front of me. Which then I proceeded to tell him "fuck you" because I started shooting at it with a giant cannon. And then when the cannon was like had to get too close and he was able to kill the cannon, I was like, okay, nah, all trebuchets. So you got to come out to me. So when I built like a couple trebuchets, he's like, "Oh, fuck you! You're not taking down my wall. I don't like you taking down my wall with trebuchets." But he had to come out to meet me. And me being the Mongolian, I broke the shitty wall. But also, before he broke the shitty wall, I forced him to come out and fight me, and then I kill him. I kill him good. I'm racist because I am embracing a lot of race pride with Mongolians right now. I'm white. I'm not allowed to enjoy other cultures. Fuck, what do they call it? I'm appropriating their. Not allowed. I did play through the entire Mongol. I enjoyed the story. It's all just telling what happened in history. But yeah, I didn't know I knew the Mongolians were like killer rapists and they were really brutal and everything. They were really mobile. But apparently within their own countries they were quite civil. They promoted not only like the equality of the sexes, but equality of like they religious tolerance and racial tolerance. Funny as hell. Okay. I'm up against you. I'm going to kill you, rape you, maim you, burn you in your house, sit on this giant wooden platform that crushes you slowly beneath me. But as soon as you join my kingdom, everything's alright. Yeah, it's crazy. They were. Well, by the end, it wasn't even Genghis Khan. It was fucking weak little bitch. Like he did lead to the conquer of China through Bruce. So I think it was Kublai Khan. I have his picture as my yeah Kublai Khan because that's what you get for completing the Mongol horde campaign. Apparently, Kublai. I always thought it was Genghis Khan. I always thought that like Genghis Khan was the one who conquered. Apparently, like no. Apparently, Genghis Khan was like, "Hey, I want to conquer all of this like Chinese territory," and then he just kind of and then he like took some of the Russian territory. Then he passed away. A Khan took over after him, and it was fine. Another Khan took over after him, and it was fine. Like they didn't take any new lands; they just kind of ran the area where they had conquered. And then Kublai Khan came around, which was actually Genghis Khan's son. So apparently, it doesn't pass on through like bloodline; it passes on to whoever the Mongol horde thinks is best. And so like Genghis Khan was first, and then there was the second Khan, the third Khan, then fourth Khan was Kublai Khan, which is Genghis Khan's son, and he fucking said, "Hey, I'm gonna conquer the rest of China," and did it by surrounding their forts and starving them out. Oh, also with that fort that he starved out, he took the general from that fort, and that general and all the people inside that fort basically betrayed China. The general literally like he commanded an army, like he was literally one of Kublai Khan's generals because he commanded his own like subsection of Chinese like his own Chinese army within Kublai Khan's army, and he taught him how to farm like a Chinaman, how to construct their siege weapons like Chinamen, how to construct like their walls and everything, which the Mongols didn't know anything about. In this game, you can play as China. And basically, can make rice fields, and then like around the rice fields, you can like if you put down this thing that's like it's like a farmhouse. It's like this massive circular structure. It increases the yield of the rice paddies. The Mongolian campaign was like really enjoyable and fun because most of it was like you can't necessarily fight your enemy in the field, but the moment you like lure them out, then stab them from three different angles, and now you won with forces. And I'm like, telling me to micro. They have. I know they have a Japanese DLC that usually their DLCs come with campaign. They do not have a Japanese DLC. I mean, a Japanese campaign. They do have a Japanese faction, which is really pretty good in the meta right now. One of the OP factions. The most OP, the most OP factions is Japan and the Chinese daimyo. Which there's two factions. There's China, and then there's the Chinese daimyo, and the Chinese daimyo are the broken ones. And what's there? Yeah, so they do have a DLC coming out right now that is experience the story of the great Chinese Song Dynasty General Yu Fei during the Song Jin Wars in a new 8 mission campaign. Then command the opposing faction, the Jin Dynasty, leading strong cavalry and siege units into a battle in skirmish and multiplayer. Which the Jin Dynasty is the new faction. The faction you're apparently going to be playing as in the campaign. Oh, by the way, there's a DLC faction that is. So you have the Mongols, then you have the sub faction for the Mongols that's DLC, that's unlocked by buying the Japanese DLC. They're called the Golden Horde. And basically, what the Golden Horde represents is a faction. Basically the Mongols after they conquered China and became largely a nation of city states. It's a lot more grounded and civilization based. Like you have a better economy and you're a lot more sustainable as opposed to the faction that I play, which is you are you're basically trying not to lose your units as much as possible. Your units are all about sustaining through attacking. your units can like you get the Khan, for example, he can buff his units temporarily, and usually you use those to turn the tide of the battle, either granting more armor to your entire army, granting speed to your entire army, or upping the fire rate of all your archers in your army. And these are very powerful buffs that you can upgrade the duration of. And so, yeah, like your opponent will be like, "Aha! I'm chasing you with some archers and some spearmen, aha ha!" And then, like, he chases you too far, you kill his spearmen while they're away from his archers, and then or you use the speed buff and you go around his spearmen, kill his archers, and then kill the spearmen while they're unsupported. If you win a fight as a Mongol, like if they realize they can't fight your army, you just pop that speed buff and kill their entire army because you hit them repeatedly in the back with cav. Retreating from the Mongols is deadly. And for example, if I burn down your house, I get resources from it. I get food and wood, and then I can upgrade it to give me also some stone. I love how one of my upgrades is improve like more torches, which like all your melee guys like will pull out a torch and start throwing torches on when they attack buildings. Burn down people's houses. So I'm gonna sleep with some horse. Probably die. But then I whip out my M16.